Alright everyone, we're going to try to go through just real quick on Friday's data here. So we had our gap up, and usually we got buy gaps down here at the bottom from Thursday. So, and then we have a gap up, so it's looking for a gap zone, usually inefficiencies. That'll be up here that it's looking for. So at the current moment, after the gap, we'd probably look for some type of pullback and then to move higher. So sometimes, and then most of the time within Q anyways, we're gonna see this gap filled in the morning. So alright, so we get a little bit of a pullback, and then we get a bump here at 631.35. So we want to buy full body bars above this opacity zone and above the blue span here, blue and yellow span. We want to buy above them, sell below them. Same thing with this opacity zone. We want to buy above it, sell below it. Now, since we just had a small pullback here, in the open, probably would not be buying yet. Probably wait at least 5 minutes into the, just let everybody get their orders in. You can always chance these and go for them. Usually they move pretty fast too. So, and of course, when we're taking our bar, we're going to be looking for our oscillators to confirm our position, as well as about 3 or 4 bars for 4 bars for a win after our entry bar, which is the full body bar. So that one just took off. We get a double doji. So again, with the double doji, looking for our oscillators to be above the 50 here. We also want our Xroc above the 0. We are just barely, so we'd be looking for an expansion bar here. And you get an expansion bar, has a pretty good tail on the bottom. You might go for a retracement entry here, or you're just looking to again capture these the sell gap up here, going towards that. So, but at the moment our expansion bar, it's below 50, so you'd wait. And now we got above, and it's still, our oscillator is still flatlining. So again, this would be a risky trade. It does go, it just keeps going, and then we finally get a conversion here. So about 1, 2, 3, 4 bars in, you get some type of blue oscillator here, but probably looking for this to kind of roll over, roll down here. So we're getting our pullback, and so we're get another setup bar here. So again, as we've been discussing, you could take the swing bar, which would be this bar here, or the next bar would be your full body swing bar, but our oscillators aren't confirming yet. So if you do like to predict the change in momentum, you might get a little bit of oscillation here, and sometimes it just pops. But if we get, once you get the color to change, so we got our Xroc above 0 there, that's a good sign, but our oscillator was still way down. But you have to understand, this is hidden divergence here to climb. So, and once you would have popped that, and you would have skated out with a 4 bar win, the oscillator here never changed. So depending on what you were looking for, if this was turned blue, then we'd have an uptrend, but since it's staying red, it's likely going to get a double top here, kind of a pullback. Alright, so now we have another pullback with the full body bar here. Xroc is above 0, we're above the highway, we're above the blue line. Our green line is above, so you would predict the color change here, or you'd be waiting for a blue oscillator. If you predict the color change, you would be in, and now you have a blue oscillator. So here's what we were talking about in the trade room, is that if you're in this trade, you take this trade, you got 1, 2, 3, that would have been your fourth bar, you would have taken your profit. But if that bar, you would see that it was going to be blue unless it pulled back on you and closed down, it was going to be blue. So here you want to hold for at least 3 more bars. And you got a chop bar, so I'd be out there if it chopped, but it went 2 more bars. Actually, it went two more bars and then the chop bar, so it went down, up there. So, but as you can see, our green line oscillator, everything kind of slowed there. So, got another full body bar we haven't changed yet. You could risk this going into the, but there's not a lot of room here for this to keep going. You got a sell gap there, so likely we're going to reverse off the sell gap somewhere. But we are above the highway, above the blue span. Oscillators are up except for our histogram is not yet blue. Still not blue, but if you try to predict it, then now you have a blue. But we do have our green line actually starting to slow in the relative momentum. So again, like I said, even if you took that, it's super risky trying to go in here, the momentum's slowing. It goes its 4 bars, and from the color change you're up 2, 3, 4 bars. So it's, again, if you're predicting the color change getting in and then the color changes, it's a good idea to wait 3 or 4 more bars. And like I said, you would be doubling your profit against your risk, and that is ideal for trading. Again, you're in a sell zone now, so you don't want to be buying up here. Here you don't want to be buying, it's a sell gap. You wait. We are in a sell mode, but we're above the highway, so probably want to wait here, or maybe you're a risk taker. It chops and right through the highway there, and so now we get quadruple dojis, and then we have an expansion bar, and it is red. We're pointing down, so this would be a good place to go short. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably looking for it to go into the blue line at least, and there we have it. And get our first pullback in another doji. Again, we're in sell mode. We do have a blue span to go through there, so this could be a bit risky here if you were to sell this through the blue span. Probably would wait. So you got a pretty good second bar tail right there, so that's another second full body bar tail, so this would be an ideal place possibly to go short, bit risky with the span there. 4 bars, and again the color changed here already, so looking for that. So nice winner. Another pullback. Now we're to the highway and the blue span, so we'd be looking for this coming back to the open if it turns down, and also the yellow span there. And also take a look here, we got some hidden divergence on our oscillator, so looking for it to turn. It goes through the span. Again, a lot of hidden divergence here. We get our first bar here, and it's above the highway. I would not be looking to take that trade. And now we get a secondary, so it tried to go higher, it couldn't, and then we get that secondary full body bar, and our Xroc is below 50. We have not a color change yet, but if you're trying to predict a color change, this would be a good place to go short. It couldn't go higher, got a sell gap there. And there we go, and we get a color change here. So at this point you're 3 bars in, so you'd be looking for a minimum of 3 bars more. It dojis out, so you could get out with a 3 bar win there, or you maybe push the break even. If you push the break even, you might still be in the trade, and then you get that expansion bar again. down to the yellow spans. Chops on the yellow spans. Again, looking for a pullback. We're getting our full body bar here again. And we'll talk about these gap zones. So when these gap zones come in, you'd be looking for a measured move. So currently we'd be looking for a measured move right now, since these gap zones are in so far. So we'd be looking for something like here. Let me see if I can get that around the money there. Looking for some type of measured move down to here, and a longer term, and then let's see what we got for a shorter term. Shorter term here, we'd be looking for this market to come down to at least the purple span there in those highs. So another, again, a good place to go short here. We got 1, 2, 3, and our oscillator popped up there. So, and also we're popping up here. So this is probably you would definitely be break even at this point. At dojis, you would have got clipped out with the doji bar on your break even. At dojis again, it climbs. We got a sell gap here. We got the highway, looking for our expansion bar. There it is. Again, oscillators aren't, but if you're predicting the color change because of the measured move that is going to be down here, this is a good spot. Alright, so now we get a color change. All the oscillators here, you would actually be 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. You would be in profit, and probably pulled your profit already. But at this 5th bar, it tells you to hold for a minimum of 3 more bars, maybe 4. It went 5. So, and then we get a double doji expansion. Now, a double doji expansion at the measured move, I wouldn't be going for this. Would need this closer to the highway or a span. It actually pays out 1, 2, 3 more bars and then chops, so it would have been a break-even trade anyways. We know it's going to turn on that, most likely on the spans. It's going to chop or at least turn pullback. And again, we're looking for this this gap to fill. Since we had a gap up here this morning, we're looking for that gap bar to fill. So again, a doji, we get a double doji, and expansion. Can you do double doji? Double doji and expansion would need to be above the highway and not into levels. So this might go, it might not. It does not. All right, so we get a double doji and then an expansion, and then another doji, and then an expansion back down. Could you take this trade? Well, it has hidden divergence, but I probably would be a bit hesitant with this because we also have divergence going the other way. So probably look for maybe some more of a pullback. I'm not 100% sure here. Well, we got 1 bar and then a chop bar. It would have let you out if you jumped in. If you're waiting for the oscillators to show you direction and momentum, you have not entered a trade yet. But again, predicting it would double your profits, so you don't have to be right too often when you get to those points. But at this point, we have everything pointing down, so at this point it would tell you to close the gap. But again, we do have some key levels right here, and it almost closes the gap, doesn't quite come to it, and then we get that last push to close the gap for the morning. So this was up to about 7:30 here, and the rest of the day is pretty much the same how it runs. So again, looking to sell, I wouldn't be selling into this gap again. Again, you have divergence here to go up, so possibly a buy trade. coming up. You see how our oscillator is staying above 0 or above the 50 here, and then we have this line pop up. This would be not there. It's kind of right here would have been a buy trade, but again, it's pretty risky with all the oscillators now showing up. And of course, it just goes to the span, and again, we're below the yellow and blue, so we want to sell, but we're above the highway, so we want to buy. So it's kind of a catch-22 here. We do have some hidden divergence, but again, trading through levels is the easiest way to lose your money. So then again, a lot of times they just go, but that's what trading's all about. And you get that color change there again, and it just only goes a few bars, break even trade, and now it's turning back up. So again, no real trade here. We're above the highway here, and we get an expansion bar. We got 2 legs possibly to go up here, but again, we have these spans right in the middle. I would not be taking trades right here. Probably look for, so we have inefficiencies, we have sell gaps, so that means that it's looking for a buy gap. That would be down here. So we're looking for the market to continue to sell off, most likely. So we're looking for a sell opportunity, really. So, and this is right here where it tries to go higher above the highway, try to go higher again, and pulls back off this blue span and the yellow span. And so the blue is below the yellow. Now if the blue is above the yellow, we could see a little bit more choppy, but I think we get a pretty good move down here. You could wait for the next bar to cross over the zeros, but if you predicted it, you'd be looking for 4 more bars from here. And there you go. And actually this might just go straight through, and if you held that one, it was over for the pretty nice trade there. Now we're into the buy gap, so we would actually be looking for some type of buy trade back to the first inefficiency area, which is our sell gap there. So currently oscillators are pointing up. Do you take this trade off the bottom here? I wouldn't personally, but do they work out? Yeah, they do a lot of times, but we got our double doji and then an expansion bar here. So again, it's a good area. Probably gonna just go to, you see how our span are starting to overlap. So we only got about 224 to 236. So yeah, you got 10 point. I mean, you get your 4 bar win here maybe. I try to be careful when the bars are way up over, the oscillator's way up over 80, 90 here. I mean, just seems like it wants to pull back, but it dojis, it spans. It would not have been very fun right there if you got in there, went 1 bar, 2 bars, pulled back, went up, went another 2 bars, pulled back again. So again, we're still looking for possibly another bounce over here on these levels down here. So because we're still underneath the span, but we're above the highway. Could you short here? I wouldn't. Again, I wouldn't short through the highway. We are getting a color change here. It chops and then it expands. This might be an okay place to go short, but again, I probably, those are above the highway. You want double dojis, bearish dojis below the highway. These are inside, so not always the best idea. And we're just in our spans, so you're not trading anything here. So you can't trade through these spans in the highway unless you're just trying to predict which way the market's going to go. Coming back down here, probably have some trap traders down here, so likely we're going to try to make another attempt off the bottom, but Can you go short here? Yeah, you could go short here and just hope for the best. But as you can tell, it's not a good idea. You'd be sitting in some heat. Second time down here, would you go for this? This is quite possibly a better chance here to head short. At least the second time you get more commitment. And we got a few bars there, and it double bottomed here with this bar over here. Pulls back. We get our doji bar and then a turn back down. So this is where you go short here again. And a nice win. And then again, coming off of our buy zone here, we get this lower or higher low here. Could you take this? Well, that's a buy trade. That actually is pretty good. Will it go right through the highway? You know, some of them do, a lot of them chop. But it's most likely going back to that blue span. And would have been a good trade there for a counter trend divergent trade. So, all right, so 9 o'clock. That's it. Wrapping up today. I just show you quick on what it looks like with the Xroc, and we'll see you on the next one.